everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm planning with this Letters to Apollo kit Sky. I believe this is my first plan with me with the Letters to Apollo kit, and it is super cute for summer. It's very tropical feeling, and it's got pastel kind of pinks and blues. Really love the washi. The colors are really stunning. Yep, I am excited to get into it. I decided to go with a Would You Rather for my voiceover this week because I've been playing this with my boyfriend recently and it's been really fun. It's been fun to hear his answers and which ones he thinks are really hard and which ones he thinks are really easy. So I thought that I would also do that for my voiceover, some ones that I haven't answered. Would you rather be locked overnight in an amusement park or in a shopping mall? This one right away feels a little bit hard because amusement park overnight feels really creepy to me. Somehow shopping mall feels less creepy because I kind of think they keep the lights on in a shopping mall at night. I feel like when I drive past stores at night, a lot of people keep the lights on, maybe as an anti-theft deterrent, but I don't want to be in the dark. So I think for that reason, I would go shopping mall. Also, if I'm locked overnight, maybe I'm going to get hungry. And I feel like I would be able to access more types of food at a shopping mall than an amusement park. So I'm not thinking of like an amusement park like Disneyland. That's mostly outside. And there are restaurants, but you have to get in there, I guess, to get the food. At the same time, though, if you're in a shopping mall, do you not have to get in there to get the food? I'm thinking if you are at the food court and you can kind of hop over those, counters that are very low, but they don't leave the food out. So I don't know what I'm thinking. Realistically, when I thought about staying overnight in a shopping mall, I was like, I'm going to go get all the leftover pretzels from Auntie Anne's. That was my thinking. I don't know if it's Auntie. I think it's Auntie Anne's. But I was like, that's what I'm going to eat at night. And there's going to be bottled water because there's always bottled water in the fridge at Auntie Anne's. And I'll be fine until they get me in the morning. I also feel like amusement park overnight is a high zombie risk. I don't know why I don't think that about the mall. But yeah, I'd rather be locked overnight in a shopping mall, I think. It feels like it's going to be more well lit. There's probably a greater chance of me being rescued if that's an option in this scenario. Also, I don't want to be outside at night, in the dark. I'd rather be inside. Would you rather watch the sunset or the sunrise? I kind of think sunset. I feel like sunset is very soothing. I also feel like the colors are very, very bright at sunset versus sunrise. This is possibly because I think I've seen obviously more sunsets than sunrises. Well, not obviously, but to me it's I'm very rarely up before the sun has risen. So I don't think I see them as often as I'm definitely still awake when the sun is setting. So it's I definitely feel like I see more sunsets than sunrises, and the sunsets seem really pretty to me. They're just very romantic. I've been to Hawaii a few times on vacation, and the sunsets in Hawaii are so beautiful. I think I have been there for sunrise because it's 3 hours behind Pacific time. So I have woken up super early in the morning there and have seen the sunrise. I definitely think sunset is prettier. So sunset for sure. Would you rather fly first class for one swanky vacation a year or take several cheap trips and backpack? So there's a couple hypothetical questions that I have about the swanky vacation. How swanky is swanky? Are we talking all expenses paid? Is it I'm flying first class, but how swanky is the vacation? How long is the vacation? If it's one swanky vacation, am I going for 5 days? Is it 3 days? What is it like? Similarly with backpacking, is it am I actually couch surfing, or do I get to stay in a hotel? Am I staying in hostels only? these are all like questions that I have before I make my answer. But I think on the face of it, on the pure kind of, this is, taking it at face value, I probably would go with the one swanky vacation a year. The reason being that I don't really like to couch surf. And I've stayed in a few cheap hotels and hostels when I was in grad school for trips to Europe for conferences and stuff like that. And it was pretty unpleasant, at least for me. I don't want to sound, bougie or anything, but I like to have my own space when I'm traveling for decompressing time. And it's got to be clean. I'm a little bit of a I wouldn't even say I'm a clean freak. When I'm laying my head down somewhere, it's got to be clean. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like I would rather just do the one vacation a year and it be really swanky. I've flown first class a few times when I traveled for work, depending on the distance, which coming from the West Coast, this is pretty much always guaranteed, but I always flew first class because it was usually a really long flight to Europe or a really long flight to Asia. And first class is pretty darn nice. You get to sleep. They give you clothes. They give you pajamas. They give you slippers to walk up and down in if you need to get up and go to the bathroom. Like, you get real cups of tea, as opposed to like the styrofoam cups. You get real teacups. This is after I said I don't want to sound bougie, but anyway, I think first class for one swanky vacation and really go all out, than a couple cheap trips and backpack. I've been fortunate in my career to have traveled to a lot of places again for work, so I feel like I had the travel bug for a while. It bit me. I was with it, and now I'm content to go a couple of places, but I don't have to go everywhere and see a bunch of things. Would you rather publish a best-selling book or direct an Oscar-winning movie? Now, the first thing I thought in my head was, which one of these is more lucrative? I dare say an Oscar-winning movie. I was also going to be like, which one of these can you get more subsequent, deals with, like another movie deal? But the truth is, if you direct or if you direct a really great movie or you publish a best-selling book, chances are you're going to get a second deal on things if your first project does very well. So I feel like it's equally likely. I kind of think a book has a little bit more longevity. I don't know why. When I read books that I read as a kid, and as an adult, I feel like they don't appear dated to me. I just have a fresh perspective. Whereas sometimes I watch movies that I used to like a lot as a kid and they feel really dated. A lot of the language, especially that people use, my boyfriend likes to say this is not 2022 friendly. And I'm like, oh, 100%. But I feel like books have a longer staying power, especially if they're well written. Now, of course, we all know not all bestsellers are well written. And, not all Oscar-winning movies are really good quality, but, I think the book, like I said, just has a little bit more staying power and is more enjoyable and accessible, after the time, has passed. I feel like movies, you've got to they're really enjoyable and, get a lot of attention when they first come out. And then there's a latency between when they reemerge again as a cult classic, when Die Hard came out, boom, Die Hard, the second one, the third one, etc. And then I feel like it died down, or I think they made a fourth one. Is the last one Live Free and Die Hard? Is that the last one? But they had to go away for a little bit and then resurge in popularity. And maybe that's how it is with the book too. I don't know. I'm going to say book. Yeah, I'm going to say book. Would you rather be perpetually overdressed or underdressed, including when you're at home? This is really hard. Because I don't like to be hot, but I also don't like to be cold. And the idea of being cold or anything other than a right temperature, even in your house, seems horrifying. This sounds like hell to me. On the other hand, I'm thinking overdressed or underdressed in terms of coverage and temperature. Maybe they mean like in terms of appropriateness, because, you know, when you go to like a formal event, you can be underdressed or overdressed, and it's embarrassing sometimes. Like if you're going to a black tie dinner and you're underdressed and you show up in jeans and a t-shirt, you're underdressed. That's embarrassing. So I think I'm gonna have to split my answer according to the temperature version, like here I'm all my body parts are covered and I'm the correct temperature, and also the like socially acceptable. So for the temperature, I would definitely rather be underdressed, because, you know, I much prefer to be cold than to be hot. I can't stand being hot, as I mentioned in my last video. So if I have to be underdressed and cold, then that's fine. For the social, like, kind of propriety thing, I would rather be overdressed. I feel like it's better to be a little bit too formal than it is to feel like you're way too casual and you like don't take things very seriously. So like, for example, like weddings is another thing that I'm thinking about, that, you know, we're in wedding season, June, July, August, you know, even early September. And thinking about going to a wedding and being underdressed is just makes me feel so cringe. I just can't deal with it. So I'd say I'd rather be perpetually overdressed in social situations, underdressed for temperature. The last one is, would you rather give up coffee or pizza for the rest of your life? Considering that I'm mostly a tea drinker, this is pretty easy. Although I do love a cup of black coffee. There's nothing like a really good cup of like really high quality coffee, just plain. It's just, I can remember all the really good cups of black coffee that I've had. Then again, pizza is life. You know, if I could never have pizza again and have coffee, like, it's no contest. I would much rather have pizza. I mean, I'll get my caffeine fix from tea or like Diet Coke, but I can't give up pizza. Like, no way. You'll pry the pizza from my cold, dead hands. So it's 100%, I would say, pizza versus coffee. I asked my boyfriend this one, so I guess this one is repeated. And he's a big coffee drinker. He drinks decaf mostly, but I think he has at least 1 cup of coffee a day, if not more. And he likes pizza. We eat pizza, I'd say probably once a week would be too much, maybe like 2 or 3 times a month. I eat pizza by myself a little bit more than that, probably 1 or 2 more times than when we eat it together. But he was like, this is a hard one. And I was surprised because I expected him to say coffee. But, you know, he's like, I could give up coffee and just switch to really strong green tea. And I was like, why don't we just switch to really strong green tea now, you know, or strong black tea instead of coffee? So we're going to try doing both doing tea and not having coffee. Another thing I notice about me and coffee is when I have too much coffee, I go off the walls. I go bonkers. But I feel like I can never have too much pizza. So simple. Well, I hope you enjoyed these would you rathers. I did my spread a little bit differently. If you've noticed, it might look a little front to back, but I decided to put my sidebar all the way on the right hand of the spread instead of the left. So it starts on a Monday. I wanted to just do something a little different. Hopefully you like it. I really enjoyed the colors and bringing in all of the like summer and ocean theme accents to this kit. Yep, that's the end of this spread. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.